You give me a countdown.
I don't give you a countdown because it's already live, bro.
We're already live. We're already live. Well, you know what? We're here to dance for a second first. Come on. Jeez. Right here live. Now here I thought I had some time. Here I thought I had a second or two. But I'm just going to get myself in the mood to go and get this going. How you guys doing out there, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for tuning in. We're on week 10. Beyond the Beat, the official SBX podcast, being live streamed around the world. Swissbeatbox's YouTube. Right now, I want you guys to give this video a thumbs up, spread it around, tell people to go and tune in, because this week's guest, we have the two-time German champ, head at SBX for video production. We have Conrad, aka Madox, aka Sound Architect, aka Lit Effects. Ladies and gentlemen, Conrad Wabe, Madox coming at you live and direct, right here live, week 10. Still playing the song. How you doing out there, people? Tune in. We're going to start this up right like that. Once again, Beyond the Beat, week 10. Coming at you live and direct. I'm Scott Jackson. I think it's time to get this going. Are you guys ready? Make some noise. Esh, esh, esh. Right here live, one more time. Thank you guys for tuning in. What is going on, man? How you doing?
I'm fine, man. How are you doing? Man,
I'm very well.
Where did you pick up Lit Effects? I forgot about this one.
Start off with a bang right away. Sound Architect, aka Lit Effects.
Yeah, last week I was talking on a podcast about sound architects. I was like, you probably will find this one. But Lit Effects, that's a funny one.
Yeah, that made me laugh when I was tuning in and like kind of looking through some stuff. And I'm like, Lit Effects, I like that a lot. And people kind of voted it down. You're like, no, I'm just kidding. That was during that whole time where you got kidnapped by Swish. You know, you had to run away. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah. Oh shit.
And I want to start off because I've been finding quotes from people when we start this off, and I liked a few of the quotes that I found that you've written on Facebook or on some of your other social medias. And you say, I can do more sounds with my mouth than 99% of all humans on this planet. I'm rich. I really like that quote to go and start off. As a beatboxer, that's really true. And another one to go and start this interview off one more time is, do you ever have the feeling that you're creating something that is really rare in the world and maybe not even existing yet? Beatboxers know this is why I beatbox. So the idea is you're creating something right off that no one's ever heard before. It's original, and we're pioneering this whole idea of pushing the voice to its limits. And you've been doing that successfully for a long time. So I'm excited to get into this, and I don't really like wasting time. So let's get right into it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And as most of you, if you've been watching this so far, they're watching the series. Madox has been in the forefront, in the background of controlling, setting it up, making sure that everything's running smooth. So thank you very much. Before we even start, thank you for working on the project with me, and I appreciate it because you always make it run smoothly and make it on time. Got that German time on your bloodline, so it's good to go and make sure. But one more round of applause for Madox before we start this off, ladies and gentlemen. Coming at you live on the rec, week 10, Beyond the Beats. All right. When I was listening to a few podcasts that you've done and a few interviews that I found, I kind of figured out most of your intro story of how you got into beatboxing. You said that you started off playing soccer, then you really got into basketball, then you started doing some hip-hop dancing, and from there, you had found beatboxing about 2006 when you heard Polpo doing his show on the French Showcase, and after you watched that video, being able to see it and actually see someone's mouth doing it, you're like, wow, maybe that's something I can achieve. Because you said in 2002 your brother showed you Rozel's album, but you just heard it and it was so produced and you didn't have any visual aspect to go and reference for you to go and practice from. So having that video of seeing Popo being like, whoa, that's something I really want to get into and try. And I was going to say, how did that, like, what was it about that video that really stood out to you where you just like, I want to go and do this. This is something I think I can get to.
I think the most impressive thing for me was that Purple did the melody and the beat at the same time. You know, like, that's so obvious. Most people, when they like, oh my gosh, he can do 2 sounds or 5 sounds at the same time. For me, it was exactly this. the fact that someone can do multiple sounds at the same time. And then at first I was just curious, like, how is that possible that a human being can do multiple sounds at the same time? And then when I found out that he's not actually doing 10 sounds at the same time, but like best case 2, you know, like you can do the humming and you can do the beat over it. But that's when I found it how you actually can do it, I was really into it, and I was trying to do that, especially like the drop it like it's hot beat that stuck in my head like for a really long time. And like I think this was probably my best beat for the first 3 years. You know, like like in school at the playground, I was doing that shit to impress people all the time. and at this time, I really thought that's a super advanced beat. You know, it actually took me a lot of time to learn it, especially when you think about that I wasn't beatboxing at all before that. Like if you try to teach an advanced beatboxer how to do drop it like it's hot, he will probably learn it in 2 minutes. But for a newcomer who never did beatboxing before, that's a really hard beat to do. You need to understand how to do percussive sounds while you keep doing the melody, right? So that it took me a long time to understand it, but at this one point when I had it, I was so proud of myself that I can do it, you know, and also I was so proud that I could impress people with this. On you know, like my friends at school, or even like teachers, you know, like I did a little showcase at a school event, and I did this beat, and people, like even teachers, say, "Wow, that's a talent. You need to use that," you know. So I was like, yeah, finally I found something I can stand out with. Yeah.
I find that's a lot of beatboxers go through that, myself included. You find something that you kind of right away gradually get better at. But as soon as you get to a certain point and being confident in yourself, you get that new experience of being like, oh, people are enjoying this. I get some recognition for doing it well. And it's something that I can improve because it's just me doing it. I don't really have to rely on anybody. It's just my mouth and practicing. And you said that you started off finding this guy who was doing some YouTube tutorials called Derek Chow, aka Dairy Boy Chow.
You found his name?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh man, I was like, it was such a pity that I couldn't give him a shout out yet, you know, like on the last podcast or anywhere. But I was learning from him. Damn.
Yeah. He did a tutorial on My Pony and Drop It Like It's Hot, and you said that's one of the guys that you were studying right off. So big shout out to Derek Chow for making it possible for me to have Madox on the kill.
Yo, is he still doing stuff? Like, did you see new stuff from him, or?
I didn't see anything new as of yet, but maybe after seeing this, maybe somehow he'll get it through the grapevine and eventually jump back into the scene, because he had good control at how many years ago that was that you started out and actually practiced from. So, but with that having that instructional, because when I started beatboxing, there was no real instructionals. I even like Tight had some great instructionals on humanbeatbox.com, but they were like little clips that took so long to download. Now on YouTube, you just click and it's like any sound. You can learn your sounds. You can learn anybody's sounds by going on and people break it down. But was that like when you were looking at beatboxing in the beginning and finding that tutorial, how much did that help you having a tutorial to go and kind of show you the way of this is step by step how you build this beat?
Especially at the beginning, I had not even a clue what's happening in your mouth when you're beatboxing. So it really helped me out to understand the basics. And then I felt like as soon as I knew how to do the basics, I could kind of like imagine how the rest is being done, you know. It's kind of like, I don't know, if you learn a new language, you know, at the beginning you need to learn like grammar and the structure of the language, you know, the sounds that people use in this language. But as soon as you hit a certain point, you can pick up words online. You know, you can Google it, or sometimes you can even guess the meaning of words out of context, you know, because you already understand a few words, you know. And I think that was the case for me. Like as soon as I knew the basics, I could imagine how to do the rest by myself, or most of the times. Yeah.
So it's good. Yeah, no, again, I think that the new generations that have all these people doing every tutorial, like anybody that has a sound, as soon as someone who's been doing tutorials figures it out, they can go and make a well-structured tutorial for people to learn from. So it's a lot of information for someone to try to take
Yeah.
in, but I think it really does help out at the beginning because again, when I was practicing and starting out, it was just jamming in a circle. You know, there'd be like a few guys from my high school that were doing it, and I'd be like, okay, let me sit here and like listen. Then we go back and forth and kind of learn that way. But then having something where you can go home and study it and practice at your own pace if you want to afterwards definitely would help out the new generation. So shout out to everybody doing tutorials. That
Yeah, but
definitely helps out.
so I think like the beauty of it, like when it used to be like that, where you needed to figure out how to do sounds by yourself, or you needed to create sounds in order to perform a certain song that you wanted to do, but there was no beatbox sound to do such thing. You know, you need to imagine by yourself, and then you needed to create something by yourself, right? And then I think at this point it was easier to find something that is original, you know, because now it's easier to find something on YouTube. You know, you can Google anything like throat bass, inward bass, vibration bass, lip roll, hollow lip roll, you know, all these crazy kind of things, you know. But then I feel like if I would learn beatboxing nowadays, I think I would be really overwhelmed because there's so much to learn, you know. And then also you see how crazy some even new school beatboxers are, you know. So this could be a little bit frightening even. So I felt like for me personally, it's not for everyone, but because it was so limited, you know, there was so much more to discover, you know, like I literally, like at the beginning, even if those sounds were shitty, you know, but I had like 10 or 20 sounds that only I was doing, you know, or I was the only person that I knew that was doing these sounds, you know, because sounds were just so limited. But nowadays it's so hard to find new stuff because there's so much there, you know. So I think, yeah, the good side is nowadays, because there's so many tutorials, it's super easy to learn beatboxing and get on a certain level really fast. But the downside of it is that it's harder to find something that is completely new and original. Yeah, but yeah, that's what's also making it interesting, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you have the tools to work with, you can go and try to change it to your own style. Like you say often that you try to copy somebody's beat, and then because you couldn't copy their exact thing, you'd find something that's your own style and make it your own sound. So you'd be attempting to you explained a story about one of your snares that you learned from Gene, and you were trying to replicate what Gene was doing, but then you ended up doing it your own way, and he eventually came back and was like, "Whoa, that's a cool sound." And you're like, "No, that's your sound, but I just couldn't do your sound, so this is my version of it," you know? So I find it's really interesting when that happens, because you try to go and emulate someone that you listen to that you really like, and then out of that, just because each person has a different mouth, each person has a different tongue, teeth, all these sorted vocal cords and stuff, you can make something that's just a little bit different and you make it into your own style. So it's very true that like originality, again, you can go and try to emulate people and still stay original. But it is true, I think, that back in the day when a lot of people were starting out without all these options and tutorials, they would just make stuff up, be like, okay, I got to go and make a song like that song. I want to replicate that song, or I want to do this. And no one's ever done it before, so you'd be forced to make up your own sounds, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like, I think, yeah, you were talking to Patchen Carter about this topic, and she said that nowadays she's kind of missing this originality that everyone had back in 2012, right? Like in 2012, like people were not that advanced, but on the other hand, everyone had like his own styles, his own sounds, and she could directly tell if he's a beatboxer. She could directly tell who it is. But nowadays it's harder because so many beatboxers sound the same way. So damn, I forgot the point that I wanted to do to make.
That's okay. How do you think that can be changed for future generations that are starting up? How do you think that's something that we can improve on and keep original, and not just be like, okay, I've learned his stuff. now I'm going to go and learn Napalm stuff. Now I'm going to go and learn Reeps' stuff. Like, how do you, in your opinion, because also that's something that you said in like 2012, 2013, Slizzard came up to you and said that you were doing like a dope beat and it was something that was yours and your original one. So that inspired you to go and be like, okay, I'm going to try to keep original and keep my own ideas to push some stuff. So how do you think that, in your opinion, for yourself and people that are coming up now, how is it easy for, not easy, but how does one keep original and motivated to go and make original stuff and not just copy what's the trends, essentially?
So I think originality or even creativity for me is the same. It's not finding something completely new. It's not like you're God and create a new planet and do some, like do your own stuff. But creativity is more like you combine two things that no one combined yet, and you put it in your own context or in a new context, and like this you create something new. So like I don't know could you, like, I don't know how exactly rap was created, but I can just guess, like people started to rhythmically talk poetry, like, yo, I found this nice poetry, and now I'm gonna start write poetry by myself. Wait, what if I talk poetry on a beat, and then, oh wait, so maybe I need to keep up the rhythm, and then and then it sounds more like one piece, and then there's rap music, but it's not like he didn't create poetry, and he also didn't create to perform something with his mouth to music, because singers would do that, but then he was talking poetry on a certain BPM, and that's rap, and same as with like beatboxing, like I heard Gene's sound, like the cuff snare, like the and I was learning it to a certain amount, but I wasn't satisfied with it, because I felt like there's something missing, like the hit at the beginning was kind of missing, but Gene had this, and I was like, damn, I can't pull it off the same way he does it. But then I came up with the idea, what if I do a hollow clap before it, like, and then I combined these two together, and it was like, and it's a new snare, but I didn't invent the hollow clap, and I didn't invent the cuff snare, but I was taking these two and put them together, and I think I didn't hear anyone else doing this before, but I think I created this, and this is originality. You take two things, put them together into a new context, and you have something new. And this is for every beatboxer, like nowadays. It's getting harder, of course. There's so many sounds out there, but I think we still didn't discover even 20%, because look, like there's so much stuff you can do with vocal fry. No one did that, There's so much stuff you can do with like double, triple voice, I know 2H has this new thing where he's like 3 voices at the same time, So like, but then like, I mean, okay, but can he control it in this amount and in this way that he can sing different chords, major chord, minor chord, so but then it gets more like into musical theory, so people need to maybe go outside of beatboxing, understand musical theory, and then combine it with beatboxing, and then create something new out of this. So I think there's still so much room to create new stuff, It's just that you need to look over the horizon and not just compare yourself to other beatboxers, but look at what are other musicians doing, Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's always, it's like when you're at a battle, for instance, that's one of the major things in our world is battling, right? But when you're at a battle, some of the people that are always most successful are the ones that go and have something that's like new, and they come out and it's that done in their way, you know, from the napalm at the world champs dropping his lip rolls and everyone's just like, whoa, to having, you know, even ZD with his the TKs that he did in 2009 at the world champs, again, just his style and that uniqueness that he had and combinations that he put it together was just never seen before like that, and that clean and all these things. So it was really just that ingenuity actually pushes you and definitely makes you stand out. So I hope that anybody that's watching, if you're sitting at home, try to make your own routines, try to make up some new sounds, try to go and combine sounds like he was talking about, and really push the scene, because we never know how far we're going to get. But also, I want to keep going. In 2011, when you started, because you said that for 5 years approximately when you started, you didn't really know about the beatbox scene itself. You just kind of were sitting by yourself doing some beats by yourself and being like, "Oh yeah, I'm the man.
I'm pretty good."
Yeah. And then you end up seeing, like, you know, Ballsy and Kim at the Grand Beatbox Battle, and it opens your whole world up to this whole other section of beatboxing and seeing all the champions from around the world and all the people that are there battling at this level. And you said that really started pushing you to go and be like, okay, wait a second, I need to go and really practice and really train hard to go and actually get the level up. But by that time in 2011, you did Beatbox Connection Munich, and you said you're one of the founders, and you did the meet and greet video with Repeat, Degree, Deshoni, and Trash.
Oh damn! Yeah,
this meet
you
and
watched
crowd
all that stuff.
in Munich. Yeah, man. Yeah, we try out here.
Props, bro.
but so you had this meet and greet. I was gonna say, when did you start finding other beatboxers in Munich? Because that's the area that you were living in. And when did you start finding other beatboxers in Germany that you could connect with and actually pair yourself with and start working with them, and not just be kind of stuck in just maybe by your own sphere of beatboxing, but actually being like, oh, there's other people that do this. Let's go and practice. Let's meet up and let's make a community out of it.
Yeah. Oh damn. I'm so bad with names, so I'm sorry for for this guy who I'm gonna talk about now. That was a guy in Munich. He used to organize like beatbox meet and greets in Munich, and I think he did it like 3 or 4 times. And he had a Facebook group, and he just invited like a bunch of beatboxers he could find on Facebook, and made a group chat with them, and like, yo guys, come on, let's meet together, you know, just for like a jam, you know, exchange some stuff. But then like for some reason he couldn't make it to our first meetup. But then in 2011, like all the guys, like a few guys from the group were meeting in like a youth center, and I remember there was like a little monitor box with a microphone, and we just came in there. You know, I remember like I was the last person to appear there, and there was already a few beatboxers sitting jamming with this shitty monitor. But for me, this was the very first time I saw beatboxing live. You know, it was just a small room, but this was the first time I saw other beatboxers, and I was like, holy shit. That's so nice, you know, it's so cool, and they all had like crazy sounds that I couldn't do at all, you know. I couldn't even imagine how to do these sounds, and at this point, I think we were like 6 or 7 people, and we said, yo, we need to make a bigger meeting like this, and we created a video. This day I had a camera with me. And we're like, yo, let's make like a small music video, you know, like Trash was in the background beatboxing, Degree was there, a few other guys, and we made like a small music video where one guy was rapping and announcing the meet and greet we do in Munich, you know. And then we actually found a youth center, a bigger one, where we could hold that one. And they even sponsored us like 400 euros, so we could print like flyers and get like microphones from a rental and stuff. And we were so excited. Yo, this is like a proper beatbox event. And then to this event also, Phil Harmony was he announced himself that he will join. And at this time, Phil Harmony was the 3rd place in Germany. He lost against Robeat in the semifinals that year, and I'm not even sure if I think there was no small final. He always said that he was third place, but probably okay. So 4 or third, it doesn't matter. Top 4. Anyways, but he announced that he will come, and for us it was like, yo, it felt like a superstar is joining us. Like, yo, holy shit! Like one of the best beatboxers in Germany will join us at the meet and greet in Munich, and everyone was super nervous, and he was really there. And so at this day, we just had like an open mic session there. Everyone could like go on stage, do a little freestyle, like 1 or 2 minutes, and I recorded everyone, and afterwards put it on YouTube. So like everyone has like something to present himself, And my main goal was to kind of like show the world, yo, Munich is alive. There's a lot of beatboxers here, and on this day there were actually like 35 beatboxers from around the city, and it was like, holy shit, so many beatboxers here. I couldn't even imagine. I was like, yo, there's maybe 4 or 5 more that will join us, but 35, yeah. And this is how it started. And then like this is also how like my tag team started, like Massive Noise.
Yes, with Degree.
Yeah, like I got to know Degree way better on this meet and greet. We were like, yo, we need to work together, and then started working together, And I also arranged some music video shootings, with certain guys. So I was recording videos of them, putting them on the YouTube channel, and this is how all started. Yeah.
Yeah, that was again, the videos that I saw from there that you recorded and everything. It's just the forethought of it to go and actually film it and use your filming knowledge to go and actually pair that with the beatboxing and being like, oh, wait a second, I have experience as a filmer, and this is something that I'm starting, and let me go and film it and actually capture it to go and put it out and spread the word as well. And to have, again, from 0 to 35 right away, and having that connection in Germany, did that for yourself, make a bunch of friends essentially, and people that you could just talk to and exchange and meet up with, not as a huge meetings, but like as just with the one-on-ones, because you said you shot the music videos afterwards, and I know some other stuff about the music videos, but we'll get to that in a second. But that feeling and that ability to go and actually have other people that were relatively near to you, and were you like Facebook friends or whatever and get numbers just so you can go and practice online or meet up one-on-one after the fact, after some of those big meetings?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question. What do you mean? Like?
I just meant after that first initial meeting when you had the 35 people there. Did you keep connections and then meet afterwards, just kind of one-on-one? Because you said you started working with Degree, and then you might have filmed videos for all sorts of people where you were working with them and filming them, like Bass Funk, Phil Harmony, P2 Dow.
P2L, yeah.
To make sure.
So we had I think we had a Facebook group back then, and it at one point we transformed into a WhatsApp group, but like we were sending like voicemails there, like with beat ideas and just jamming, on the group chat, and we didn't write, like me and Degree, we didn't right away agree on, yo, we need to tag team us too. But at the beginning we had this idea, we need to have like a huge beatbox group of 10 people, and we actually met, but it was so damn messy, bro. I was like, it's too many beatboxers, and we had no clue what to do, and like no one had the experience how to lead such a big group. So most of us kind of lost the interest in this, except me and Degree. We kept doing, so we were like, okay, let's just us two together. But we still, like the others, we had a few meetings in the youth center where we had like jam sessions, and I was also texting the guys like where I thought like, yo, they have a lot of potential. I need to make a video of these guys, to show the world how good they are, So I was just like, yo, Phil Harmony, you want to meet up? Yo, P2L, let's meet up. Let's shoot a video, And we just arranged like dates to shoot these videos, and I made it happen. And it was, for me, it was super nice experience because I never did audio recording before at all. I was just like, while doing it, I was figuring out how to do. Okay, you have this microphone here, and I have a Zoom with me, let's try this out. Let's check how this sounds. Oh my gosh, it sounds super flat. Oh damn, that's clipping, and then like did it multiple times, and then like at one point I kind of find out how to do it in a proper way, you know. Same with filming, you know. I just started going to film school, but it was a good practice for me. So this was the side benefit of it, you know. So for future projects, I was ready, you know, after that.
Absolutely, because 2010 Hochschule Macromedia College.
Yeah.
You go there, and you graduate in 2013, and you get your degree, and you have your filming degree. And there was one of the first videos that I saw on your channel, aside from some of the meet and greet stuff. You had 2011. You had this thing that translates into English as the beatboxing kneading figure. So it was like clay images that you had, like clay stuff, and it had you beatboxing underneath it, the whole thing, and it was like the crowd going wild, and then you see the clay motion stuff working on it. But that means, like, I just found that interesting that even in your schooling, you found a way to pair beatboxing into it and work on projects even at an early stage of doing it and pushing that idea. And from that, and continually doing the videos that you started working with, as I said, Bass Funk, Phil Harmony, and some of the other guys that you filmed, it gave you that intro into it and kind of a crash course of being like, okay, I got to go and figure out the audio. How do I do that? Like you said, now I'm going to pair that with the video stuff that I've already learned, and you keep on working on that. And it was from that video with Phil Harmony that you said that Peponi reaches out to you and says, oh, that's really nice work that you did with it. I want to learn how to go and do it like this. Do you want to come and have a meeting? So you go over to his place, you have a meeting, and after that meeting, you end up being the head of video production for Swissbeatbox in 2013 is when that officially, quote unquote, became the thing. So how was that experience for you for Peponi to go and reach out from Swissbeatbox and be like, hey, I really like your work. Can you come and show me how to do it? And also at the end of that conversation, you end up becoming the head of Swissbeatbox video production.
Yeah. Bro, imagine you're like a small rapper from the US and you record a few things, but you're not famous at all. And out of a sudden on Facebook, you get a message of Dr. Dre, and he's like, yo, how you do this shit? It's so dope. You know, this was how I felt. When Peponi reached out to me and he wrote me on Facebook asking me how I do stuff, I was like, holy shit, man. Peponi from Swissbeatbox is texting me right now. Yo, I was so nervous. Like, I didn't even answer him right away. I was first like reaching out to my friends. I was like, oh fuck, Peponi just texted me. He loves the videos. You know, like, no way. Oh shit. I was so dope. And also like, I also remember Phil Harmony was kind of bragging that he got to know Peponi before everyone else of us, you know. And then he kind of got jealous also that, oh, yo, shit, he's now Peponi's reaching out to Madox right now. Damn, what's going on? Anyway, so I was super hyped, man, and I tried to like right away get all the information, you know, like, okay, bro, you need to get this camera if you want to achieve this quality, you know. I use this microphone, I use the zoom, blah, 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 you know, with this certain perspectives, you do it like this, you do it like that. And then at one point I felt like, yo, this is so overwhelming for Peponi, because he was kind of like, yeah, sick, what about you do that for me, you know? And I was like, yo, this is the best outcome, you know? Like I was waiting for this moment when he would ask me, and then like, I remember the very first project. It was like I told him, bro, like all these YouTubers, all these big YouTubers, they have like their own intro, you know. You need to have
the intro theme song.
Yeah, you need to have this, you know. It's so important. People will remember this if it's well done, you know. And simultaneously, at this time, Swissbeatbox didn't launch the logo, the actual logo right now. You know, also with this all-star thing, this wasn't published yet. And Kilian, the designer and founder of Swissbeatbox, he told me, yo, we're gonna launch a new logo with all the artist names. What if we do animation on this, you know, and then with the intro song? And I was like, yo, I want to do this project and I want to fucking smash it, you know. This needs to be the best project I have done in my life ever. You know, I need to put all my heart inside so they see that how passionate I am, you know, and that also they would see my skill, you know, and then integrate me into Swissbeatbox. So I was spending like 2 weeks finding samples online, you know, watching interviews, then chopping them together. And at this point, I was not experienced in music production at all. I just started to get inside. I was using GarageBand, which is like the pre-installed software on when you get like a Mac. Yeah, but I tried. I was using everything that I had, and then like trying and failing, and then sent Kilian something over. What do you think about this? And then he wasn't satisfied right away. But it's like, okay, fuck that shit. I do it one more time, and then we're like, I think that at the end I had like 5 versions. But then at this, I think before I did the last version, he kind of told me like, yo, we need something that has kind of a melody inside, It should kind of sound like the start of a beat, but then like disappear again, And this was like the initial info where we're like, okay, you're fucking right. We need something like a melody that people will remember. And then I found this interview of Darny on Beatbox Battle TV, where he was talking about how he would imitate instruments, and he also explained how he would do a trumpet, like, and he did it like exactly in this tempo, like slower than in the Swissbeatbox intro. But I was like, yo, this trumpet sample sounds so nice. I need to use that and put it inside. And then I kind of like was speeding it up because I already had like the beat, and I was putting inside it, and then I had the Swissbeatbox intro, and since then we're using it for every video, And this was like my first project, and this is how I got into Swissbeatbox with this intro.
Yeah, well, that's a famous intro now around the world. Everybody knows the theme. Everybody knows that's watched any of the videos, and it really sticks out. And it definitely, you smashed it right off the start. And it's interesting that we're just getting into the audio side of it, because 2014 comes around. You start at the Deutsche Pop in Munich, the music school for design, and you start studying there for a year-long thing that you graduate in, and you get your diploma there. And then you start talking to Sinjo, you start talking to Lyndon J for more knowledge on beatbox specific stuff. But even before that, to have the mindset of going and putting yourself right into it and being like, okay, let me try this, and having that first piece being standing the test of time, again, trial and error, being able to go and learn by yourself is definitely something that stands out in your career for myself to go and see, not just as a beatboxer, but as a video production and audio production, and being able to pair the two of them up and have the mindset of being like, oh, I can use this for beatboxing and for beatboxers. So it's been something that I've been very interested to see how it's grown. And after looking at a lot of your stuff too, in 2013, one of the other things that really stood out to me that was when you did Air Max on my feet.
Oh shit!
With massive noise.
Yeah.
when you did this video with massive noise with Degree, it was there's a bunch of things on this one that impressed me, but it was a tag team loop station before anybody did that, really, where you had two loop stations working together, so you guys had that going. But I also think that it set the tone for a lot of the projects that you did after that, because you had the way it was filmed, it was very professional looking, and it was cleanly done. And then the way that the sound came through, you tried to go and do it as best you could at 2013 version of Madox. But that kind of set you up working with him on that video, in my opinion, for a lot of the future projects. So was that one of the first times that you ever really took in that ability to go and put, your use of your knowledge for video and audio at the same time to go and create a high quality product? Because that's something that was kind of lacking. A lot of people would just have those videos where it's just your camera phone, or like, you have this terrible Handycam that's just like that little Sony thing that someone's just filming off of, and it sounds terrible, it looks grainy. But then to have a video at such a high quality, I think really set the tone again for like a lot of future projects that you've been a part of.
Yeah. From the beginning on, my approach was kind of like I don't only want to be a beatboxer, but I want to be a professional musician, and I want people to treat me like a professional musician outside of the beatbox scene, And in order to be treated like a professional musician, you need to act like a professional musician. So not just record yourself, through a shitty phone and use the video and audio out of this phone and post it somewhere, but actually think about audio production, composition, lightning in the video, find a camera operator who would shoot for you, you know, set up everything. And yeah, like from the beginning on, this was really important for me. And also like I never had this point, like back then I didn't have this point where I was like, yo, I'm on such a level right now where I could like be top, like one of the best beatboxers in the world, you know. Like in 2013 I didn't have that much skills, but I was like, maybe I can, you know, if I cannot stand out with my skills, maybe I can stand out with my production stuff, you know. And this actually helped me a lot, because as I had these higher quality videos, higher quality audio, also bigger beatboxers reached out to me like, yo, how did you do that, you know. And this also gave me the opportunity to find out things I couldn't do and they could teach me, you know. I don't know, like Alem was teaching me some technical stuff, you know. I was learning a lot from Ballsy. I was picking up a lot from Kim, you know. But this wouldn't happen if I wouldn't have anything to offer to them, you know. So it was kind of more like an exchange, not a fanboy trying to squeeze out your idol, you know, and then like, yo, I need to learn your stuff, you know. But it was like, yo, guys, I want to make music. I want to make music videos for you, you know. I went to GBB, made these videos, you know. Then with Artist Week, I even took it one step further and made high quality music videos, you know. And then I kind of like gained the respect from like the bigger beatboxers, you know. And then naturally, you know, I was integrated and they were teaching me stuff. So, you know, so yeah, so at the one side, I wanted to treat myself as a professional beatboxer, and the benefit was that I did something that no one was doing in the beatbox scene, producing music videos for beatboxers, and this helped me to be original in my own way in the beatbox scene. Yeah.
And you can see that from across the work that you've done, from the Artist Week, like you said, and to a lot of different videos that you've put out and obviously been a part of with Swissbeatbox, is pushing that idea of pushing it to be professional, sounding good, looking good, not just, again, flip phone camera or just filmed off of whatever camera there is. You actually put thought behind it. And again, smashing it. And I really like, there's a few videos that really stick out in my mind where I was like, that kind of, again, just up the bar and up the bar and up the bar. So I'm excited to see where you're going with it next, but I'll get into that stuff as well, because you were saying of getting respect and getting noticed from your skill level as well. So your battling career, the first battles that I found were 2012 from you, when you went to the Pringles German beatbox battle. You ended up battling Vegas in the semifinals. It was one of the qualifying tours that Bilo set up for the qualifying German champs that were going around. And 2012, you also do an elimination at the actual German champs itself. So was that from going and having those meetups that you actually see the battles happening, or have knowledge of the battles actually happening, that inspires you to be like, oh, maybe I'll try out for the battles?
2012, I wasn't in the international beatbox scene yet. But I had like the contacts around in like Munich, and I kind of gained respect from the German scene because of the videos I was doing back then. So I got into battle knowledge a little bit more, but yeah, I did made it into battles in German champs. But this was like those were like my first experiences, and from this point on, I was trying to get to more battles, get more experience. One battle I'm so sad there's no videos. Hans Beatbox, you know this guy from Switzerland?
2013, your Zurich beatbox battle.
He was organizing a battle in Zurich, and it was an international battle. There was like most people were German, but there was contracts from the UK. There was some Swiss guys, and I think there was one from Italy, but I don't remember. Anyways, so it was kind of like international battle, and I went there and I won. That was my first battle. I was winning in 2013, but there's no videos of it. I'm so sad about it. But anyways, like this was my first time when I was like, yo, I actually can kill it on stage too, you know? Like it's not, I don't need to stick to my video productions and audio productions to to be original and to be recognized in the beatbox scene, you know, I can do the same shit like others do on stage and battle, you know. And from this point on, I was also putting more effort into my battle skills. And kind of like I tried to do it simultaneously, you know, work on my music and work on my battle routines. And at some point, I felt like why I'm trying to separate things, you know, like why I'm thinking of music, of my music I do and my battle routines I do in separate things, you know. Let's try to integrate my music into battles. And I think that was the point where I started winning bigger stuff, you know, like in German champs, and I was at your battle in Great
Yeah,
North,
yeah.
you know. And this also like was the point when I got more recognized from in the scene, not only for my videos but from my actual beatbox skills.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that because again, I tried my darndest to go and find the Zurich battle, any videos of it, but all I could find was that you ended up beating Trash in the finals, and you got the pony raising your hand as the champion in 2013, and you actually did a pretty good little run of battles that you went around, especially in Germany. You had the report report. I'm not sure.
Ruhrpott.
RUHRP.
Yeah.
There you go. In Dortmund, you battled MG, and you battled Mr. Given. Then you went to the Braunschweiger beatbox battle, and you got to the quarterfinals there. You actually you did the St. Gallen battle as well in 2013, where you had an elimination on it, and you got to all sorts of these battles that you kept on getting into and actually having the opportunity to battle and get those chops that a lot of people, I feel like when you first start battling, it's good to go through that and actually have those experiences where you battled all the time regularly to get comfortable with the idea of it and learning the exchange back and forth. So you had a lot of this going back and forth. You battled Phil Harmony on Don't Let the Label Label You,
Yeah.
which is kind of like a king of the dot vibe, kind of the rap battle thing going on. You got into the Row Beat Awards 2004 in Stuttgart. You had the German beatbox battle again in 2014, and then started your stuff off with the shootout battle, where you continuously thus far got into the shootout battle, and you lost to the guy that would win the shootout battle. You lost to Alexinho, then Bart, then Alisi, and all three of these guys ended up being the champion. So there's no shame in losing to the guy that wins the whole thing and actually getting into it and winning these things. But like that was one of your first international battle experiences where you actually got into a big brand name battle of the 2015 shootout battle. So being able that you were starting to film stuff and go around to the Grand Beatbox battle and these other events, how is it for you as a beatboxer, as you said, to get that respect and that recognition of being able to go and actually prove yourself enough to get into an international beatbox battle at that level?
Yeah. So the reason I got into Swissbeatbox was because I was a huge fan of the beatbox scene, of Swissbeatbox, you know. And I kept working for Swissbeatbox, but I never stopped being a fan of beatboxing, of battles, you know. And I was always looking up to these people, and at the same time, I always had the dream to be on stage with them, you know. And even though I was really close to it because I was filming it, I still felt like I was far away from it because I wasn't even close skill-wise, you know, to like Darny, to 2H and all these people, you know. But then like suddenly, because I was hanging out so much with them, picking up so much knowledge, you know, sucking it in, practicing, I was starting to get better, and then I saw myself standing with these people on stage, and I was like, yo, that's so dope, you know. Like I still like sometimes it's still I'm still really nervous about it, standing on stage, although I know all these people for such a long time. But you know, most beatboxers in this scene always saw me as the camera dude, you know, as the camera guy, behind the scenes producing, you know, but not as the artist. And the more recognition I got as artist, and that was the original idea why I started all those things, you know, the more proud I was. And yeah, it's just an amazing feeling, you know. And also like when I remember when I won the wild card for the world champs. That was also so mind blowing for me. Like there were so many dope people applying for it. And then it was me, Contrix, and Article back then. He doesn't exist anymore. I don't know what happened to him, but it was Article. There's one guy. His name is Vokoda. He kind of looks like him and has the same style. He's a little bit cleaner,
Very similar.
but then Article. But it's really similar. Anyways, like I was winning a wild card next to these guys, and it was like, yo, I'm on a list with like top notch beatboxers, and like it was a legit thing, I didn't win it because I was part of Swissbeatbox. I won it because of my skills, and this was such an amazing feeling. Like every time, like I don't know, even though I'm really passionate about my work for Swissbeatbox, and I really love to be behind the scenes also and produce for all these people, because video production is also one of my passions. I never lost passion being on stage, being an artist, performing, battling, all these things.
Absolutely, and you kept it up, and you keep on battling, and throughout the career, 2016, and you go and you do what is it? You do again the shootout battle. You end up doing the Freundfeld beatbox battle, the open air that you come second in. You go to the Cardiff beatbox battle over in the UK. So you're getting into a lot of these battles in Great North. You come over to Great North and you end up only losing to Napalm. You take third place, which I'm very happy with, by the way.
Most importantly, I was beating up the local guy.
Yes.
Shout out to Heat, man. He's dope. He's dope.
I talked to Heat before this, and he's just like, oh, he's gonna bring that up. I know he's gonna bring that up. But that was fun to have you over here, and I got to go and show you some of Canada as well, which I hope you enjoyed, because it was a fun time having you at my cottage and going.
Bro, I'm still dreaming of Canada, man. I think yesterday or 2 days ago I was making a post about Canada that I fucking miss it, man. Like it feels like a different world for me, People so friendly, and it's the nature, man. Like I was traveling around with my girlfriend. I was at your cottage, at the Horseshoe Lake. Man, it was so good, and so dope. Like all those people I met, so gentle and fuck. And like I always thought like this is like a stereotype, that like Canadian people are so friendly, but it's true. Like, and I don't know why. I just happy, happy people enjoying life.
Yeah, for the most part, like got a couple beavers, and like you can't be mad at a beaver. Look at that little guy, give him a little scratch on the ear.
And it was like, man, 2 days ago, I read an article about I don't remember the name of the Canadian president. How was it?
We have a prime minister, Justin Trudeau.
Ah, yeah, Justin Trudeau, and he was he started a project supporting like vegans. Like they put like $100 million into like vegan proteins and like plant-based proteins and stuff. And at this point, I was like, I was showing this to my girlfriend. I was like, yo, we gotta move to Canada, man. This is like insane, So big shout out to Canada. It's dope country.
Come over, help out Beatbox Canada. Get that going. But after you keep on going, you keep on battling. And 2018, when the German championship finally comes back, because there was a break for some reason, which I'll ask you in a second, but 2018, you go and you win the German championship with wins against Gapo, Shazam, and in the finals against El Grande. So how was it as an experience, and how did your family and friends react, and people in the scene, to go and actually win your national championship? Out of all the people that are living in Germany, for that year, you ranked the highest, and you got the championship under your belt to be the actual champion in Germany. What did that mean to you as a beatboxer and in your career?
Bro, it was such a relief, man. Like, because I was part of Swissbeatbox, so a lot of people thought that automatically I'm also a great beatboxer and great battle beatbox dude, you know. I can smash it on stage. And at the same time, like from the beginning on, I was watching Raw Beat back in the days, like Alberto, like all these old school beatboxers, Mando, Zero, you know. And I also was like, yo, I need to reach what they were reaching, you know. And Barbary in 2012, 2013. And then I got more and more into the scene, you know, even go to not only being not only being in the production, but also on stage. And the more I was integrated also in international things, you know, and people knew me internationally, I felt so much pressure, like, yo, I need to win the fucking German champs, man. You know, I like this was like initially from the beginning on my biggest dream to win it, and I reached so many things, but this is still like I need to get this off my bucket list. But yeah, since battling still is I would say one of my biggest weaknesses, because I'm always like super nervous. Like people who go to battles and see me there, they see me like walking around in circles all the time backstage, you know. I can't talk to anyone, you know. I need to go to the bathroom multiple times because I'm super nervous all the time. And it was the same. It's still the same, you know. But I kind of learned to handle this a little bit better on stage. So in 2018, I was, and I must say in 2017 there was a battle too. It's not online, sadly, because the footage got lost. But 2017 was the first battle of the new beatbox wave in Germany, I would say. And this was the first time Shazam won. And I was joining this battle too. And I there already had this in mind. Yo, I need to at least reach the finals, you know, because I dropped so many things on YouTube, you know, and I gotta prove that I can pull the things off on stage that I can present in a video, you know. But then I lost in the quarterfinals, and I was so destroyed, and like, I mean, the other guy was super sick, but still, like, I felt so much pressure on me, like I gotta get to the finals, and then I lost in the quarterfinals. I was so disappointed. But then I got to know Marvelin. Maybe you know this guy with the crazy hat.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And he's by the way organizing German champs now. And I got to know him, and we had a deep conversation at Beatbox camp. And he gave me one big tip. He told me, bro, when you are on stage, you seem to be fucking arrogant as fuck. You know, like, people don't like you when you're on stage, you know, because you look so rude, you're so tall, you know, and you kind of trying to use it and try to oppress your opponent, and it doesn't feel right. And from this, like, I was like, back in the days, I was kind of like, I was trying to imitate the battle style of Alem, you know, not like his sounds and beats, but he's always really aggressive on stage, you know. And this was like, for me, a big role model. But at this point, what I didn't realize is I am not this small and this skinny like Alem, you know. It's super different because I'm actually tall. I'm a big guy. I don't need to create this character because I already have this presence on stage, you know. So if I act like Alem, then it's just overdoing it, you know. And at the same time, it's just not me, you know. I was trying to imitate someone else, and I felt super uncomfortable with it, and the result was that it was super unauthentic. So after I had this conversation with Marvelin, by the way, big shout out to Marvelin, bro. This was like the initial tip, man. Revolutionizing my battle style, man. Like the next year, I was like, okay, fuck that shit. I just go on stage and I do it the same way, like when I do a performance, you know. I don't try to act out anything, you know. I just stay natural on stage, you know. And suddenly I got great feedback from the crowd, you know. I saw saw faces melting down. It made me feel so comfortable on stage, finally. And then like from this point on, when I had this confidence on stage, it felt so much easier to perform what I was performing, And I even like without being a dickhead, but I just had the confidence to be like, okay, this guy is doing amazing stuff, but I can beat him, and I don't need to pretend anything because I have the confidence. I was practicing at home all my routines. I know my routines, and I know these routines are better. So I was just like really calm on stage, enjoying my time, and then performing my stuff, and then winning, and it was, and like, like in 2017, I was trying so hard and I couldn't even reach semifinals. And the next year I was just myself, and it felt so easy, because it felt like I was practicing so much and was hitting this door. And then as I was opening up this door, it was like, boom, here we go. Here it is. And and it was such a relief, bro. Yeah, and I'm still super proud, because this was like from the beginning on when I started beatboxing, I wanted to be German champion, and it's still sometimes unbelievable to say, and like sometimes people like, man, today like I went to a park, and two friends of mine, Grande and Ayota, were jamming there, like doing street performances, and then at one point Ayota was like, yo, we have the German champion here, come on Madox, drop a beat. And like as he was saying German champ, it was like, again, this feeling like, holy shit, yeah, I reached, like I still can't believe it. It's 2 years, and it's still super amazing.
It's funny that you said, because again, it's a lot of people that I talk to have that moment where it's like, instead of trying to go and be something else or trying to go and be that different persona, when they just accept that their level of skill and their confidence in themselves, they end up just pushing it, and all of a sudden people see that, and it's not forced, it's not fake, and you go and accomplish it. And that's why in 2019, so you went in 2018, then 2019, you said was like a really special year, because you ended up winning again the German champs to become 2-time, but you win against Babli, Shazam, and then Brown Basic in the finals. But then to go and have the win on that year, you said you went in with no, not really thinking about it, of winning at all, because there was all the champions from the past years, and you're like, this is gonna be a really tough battle. I'm just gonna go and stick to my game plan of continuing being who I am. And then you ended up winning yet again. So now you're the 2-time German champ and currently defending, and we'll see if there's a battle that actually happens. But again, to go and prove it and defend it and have that ability to go and be a 2-year running champion is a special thing to go and achieve. And having that sink in of being like I'm not sure what the population of Germany is, but out of millions and millions of people, yeah, and you're the top beatboxer in it. So that really makes it stand out, and especially having the world champs being hosted there, having Beatbox Battle being there, and having that culture of beatboxing in it, to go and reach that pinnacle of it in Germany is definitely a feat that like smashed it.
Yeah.
Just smashed it. So congratulations. And you can see also from your battling career, because you've also done some other battles in the Florida Beatbox Battle, Beatbox to World, and you have all these different battles that you've been a part of and won wild cards for, and you go to the world champs, winning it, the wild card for it, and getting that, again, top echelon beatboxers, and you go and prove yourself again and again and again. So from behind the camera to out in front of the camera, you keep on pushing it, and you've been very successful. But a lot of the projects that I've been seeing too is you've always been not just in the necessarily the beatbox world, quote unquote, not just the battle scene, not just showcases at battles or anything like that. You actually have had a pretty big career as your own artist, as Madox the Beatboxer, as an artist. And you can go back again for like with Massive Noise, doing the Air Max on my feet, doing paper jams in Burger King, having a couple paper jams in Burger King, and doing Yonkers and a Millie again.
Oh, damn.
So you have these videos that you keep on pushing out. But then I found in 2015, I wanted to ask you about this. Can you explain what the Magic Tongue show was with Ramon?
Man, it was so funny. Like, we made a show with a comedian from. He's pretty big in South Germany, and he was like, "Yo, we gotta do a show together," but because people don't know beatboxing, we kind of need to yeah, bring it to them in a different kind of way than it's normally been done at a beatbox battle, so we were thinking of, let's invite we were inviting a band where Trash was playing in, was a singer-songwriter band, with like guitarist, and Trash was there instead of a drummer, and there was also a bass player. Then I was performing there with my band. I used to play in like an alternative rock band, but
Zembiotics.
yeah, Symbiotics, yeah, man. And
Symbiotics.
and yeah, we were like, I was on a loop station doing all the percussion stuff. Then I had a guitarist. He was looping his guitar, and we had a lead singer. And then also we had like a beatbox group performing there. So like many different kinds of performances with beatboxing inside, but not always initially beatboxing is the highlight of it, and, and then because but still, like for people, even if it's a singer-songwriter band, people still staring at the beatboxer, like, wait, the percussions are coming from the beatboxer, right? This guy with the microphone, holy shit, like it's still. And so like, and yeah, this guy, the comedian, he was like, yeah, man, it's always, for me, it always felt like a magic show, because you don't see the instrument, but there's sound coming out, and it's kind of like, where is it coming from? It's kind of like when you're performing a magic show, like, yo, where did this rabbit coming from out of his fucking head, So we were like, yeah, it's like kind of like magic tongues.
I love that poster though. Seeing you in top hat and a suit, I was like, oh, this is dope. And it made me laugh to go and see that picture specifically. But speaking of Symbiotics, you worked with this band, and you worked with Kathy Junker, and Tigran was your guitarist.
Yes, exactly.
And you go and put this project together where you're doing live looping and having the guitarist play, and he had a keyboard as well and a singer. And again, I find that everything that you've done, you said it earlier, but you strive for that idea of having really good production of pieces to go and show yourself, this is what we're capable of. And you end up putting out an original track called Search with them, and you end up doing the live looping, the showcase, the shout out for SBX, where you go and put that video together. And again, it's looking professional, looking awesome, and you have here's how you book us and stuff. So how long did that project last for? Is it something that you're still doing ever, or is it something that might be coming back? Because I saw videos where you were doing it at the aquarium, and you did the Ring of Fire at the Theatron and stuff. So you had these different showcases, and and you have this project that you're working on. But is that something that you're still involved with, or still talk to these people, that something that you go back to, or is it just been taken? It went through the cycle and you've moved on to other stuff.
I'm still in contact with the guitarist a lot. We're exchanging a lot. He started as a metal guitarist. Then with my project, he's kind of got into alternative rock, and now he's producing hip hop beats. So he made a crazy journey, and he produces still music, like hip hop beats, and sometimes we still meet up and jam together. But since the project Symbiotic is not there anymore, because we had like I don't know how to say, we had a few issues with the singer, because she wanted to get more into like a pop direction, and we always wanted kind of to stay alternative, and even go more alternative kind of. And yeah, at some point we're kind of just like, yeah, I think every one of us needs to go his own way. So she's still doing music, performs with the band. Tigran produces music now, and I do my stuff. But yeah, I meet a lot with Tigran, and he actually helped me. Maybe you saw Can You Feel It, the video I was putting out last year. He was co-writing this song. Like he did the chords and stuff, and then I translated it into beatboxing. And next week I actually gonna drop a loop station video that he also was co-writing. So big shout out to this guy. and he also got me into like music theory. I was because of him I was starting to learn like jazz chords and stuff like this. So this will have a big influence on my next album I'm working right now. So yeah, he's still a big influence for me, although he's not appearing on screen anymore. But yeah, like in the back, he's still a big influence.
And is that one of the reasons why, for a while there, you said you started taking singing lessons and guitar and piano lessons to go and learn music theory more behind it, so you understand the structure behind it?
Yeah.
Is he one of the people that kind of influenced you?
Yeah, like at Zambiotics, I always wanted to kind of support Kati not only as a beatboxer but also like with background vocals and stuff, or melodies. But then I realized, yo, I'm far away from her skills, and then she kind of got me into like, yeah, why are you always trying to learn it by yourself, And I'm used to it as a beatboxer, you go online, you look for a sound and then you learn it. But then with singing, I couldn't pull it off by myself, So she was like, yeah, just get yourself some help, get a vocal coach. And I started like I was kind of like, oh man, no, I'm a beatboxer. We learn shit by ourselves, But at one point I was like, okay, let's try it, and it helped me a lot, just like I know at the first class I was going inside and she was like, wait, your voice kind of feels like there's a lot of pressure on it. What are you exactly doing when you sing? I was just doing like a throat bass. I wasn't even singing, and then I was showing her like what I do, and she was explaining me like certain breathing techniques, and it wasn't for me. It wasn't kind of like when you learn a new beatbox sound, you keep doing. At one point, it sounds good. But with singing, it was more like understanding the airflow in your body. And then at one point, you're like, oh shit, that's how you sing, And then it's like, it's just at one point it makes click, and then you can use your voice. And here it is. It always had been there, but I just didn't know how to use it properly. And coach was helping me to find my own voice, And also, I think it's for a lot of people, it's really hard to find their own voices because you kind of need to accept your voice at the beginning. You know that feeling when you record yourself, like especially at the beginning, and like it's only talking or something, but then you listen to the audio and you're like, holy shit, that's my voice. Oh my gosh, I sound horrible, right? Like even if it's fine. Even if it's fine, but it's just uncomfortable for yourself to hear your voice, And as beatboxers, we modulating our voices all the time. So when we are on a recording, we don't hear our own voice. We hear something that we were making up until it sounds cool, But it's not our own voice that we used to talk, And it's like the really authentic, honest voice, that is not modulated. And I realized I first needed to accept my voice, how it sounds like, And to accept it, I needed this vocal coach, who told me, yo, your voice sounds good. Why are you not using it? Why are you trying to sounds like someone else? And I was like, yeah, because as a beatboxer, I'm used to try to sound like someone else. Yeah, but as a singer, the main thing is to find your own voice. And this was like the biggest journey I'm still at the beginning. I'm still not an advanced singer, but at least I feel now way more comfortable to record my voice and to not modulate it and just let my voice sound like it sounds. And this is already a big step and makes a huge difference for any singer, I would say.
Yeah, it's something that I feel like a lot of people should do more of is learn some music theory and also go to a vocal coach, because as you said, it's stuff that even if you practice at home and do it, learning techniques and actually having someone trained to go and teach the voice is being able to go and maybe advance you further than you would be able to do by yourself. And Yeah, definitely made a difference in a lot of the tracks that you've been doing and putting out, because you can hear that you're singing more in them, and your melodies and stuff that you're putting together, pairing up, they're way like so on point because they actually are in key and stuff, which is something that a lot of people have problems with keeping in key. Amazing beatboxers sometimes still are out of key, and it happens to a lot of people. But there's times where you listen to it and you're just sitting there like, oh, that note didn't hit. No, that note didn't hit. So it's good that you're putting in that legwork. And moving on from Symbiotics, you keep on going and doing more shows and work with a group called Extraton.
Extraton, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you do work with an acapella group, again, flexing your beatboxing with the voices and pairing that up. And but then I want to go and bring it back to the beatbox world of you've always kind of worked with tag teams, from having Degree that you worked with at the beginning, and then the next big pairing was when you go and work with Vonox and you have Vocals That Knock, Vocal Knockout is what it
Oh
came from.
shit! Yeah.
And you have,
How did you? Did we post that? Did we post that somewhere? I don't remember that we were talking about it.
Maybe you did. Maybe you did. But you have Vonox, this project that you start working with the tag team, and you got B-Art, and you start working together.
Oh, yeah.
So that's your kind of second tag team partner that you started doing stuff with, and you make this release, and you start putting out amazing stuff. So one of my favorites that definitely stands out to me is Blast That Sub, where that music video, having Trung working on it with you, and having the visuals, the audio, everything about it just smashed, and you can play that in a car, and your whole car just Blast That Sub, and just going and killing it. And you end up putting out a lot of work with Vonox from 2017. 2017 was a huge year for yourself of just project after project after project that you put out. You put out a lot of different music during that time. Again, you put out Don't Wake the Beast. You put out Timba featuring Bush Bayer, which kind of had that dancehall feel, and he comes in and he starts going over top of it, switching to electro. Then you go in 2019, after about 2 years, you go back with Insane, and you have that thing with Vonox that's just pushing it. So how was it to go and put out an album, beatbox album, with B-Art? And also, is that something that you're still working on? You have new projects with him that are coming out sooner than later, or is there stuff that you're going to be having that secret that no one, something that you can go and give a teaser for the people that are tuning in right now?
Okay, so first I want to say it was actually a coincidence that we started working together. It was kind of like, B-Art and Ibarra wanted to come to Munich before Shootout Battle. I think it was the first time where it was the year when I was battling B-Art. And they wanted to come together to Munich and kind of record like a Dutch demolition thing. And we were already planning it, I was looking for equipment, camera stuff, and to arrange. I was arranging studio and blah blah blah. And then I think 2 weeks before this would happen, Ibarra just couldn't make it anymore. He disappeared. He was like, guys, I can't do it. I have some private issues, and was like, okay, it's fine. But what should we do now? B-Art is coming. I organized all this stuff, and I don't want to just drop it. And then first we were thinking, maybe we do some solo stuff for B-Art. But then I was like, yo, bro, should we collaborate together? And he was like, what do you have in mind? And I was like, I don't know. I don't have any idea, but maybe just come here and we try something out. And then I remember this day we were sitting in Munich, and we were listening to a bunch of EDM songs, because at first we were thinking let's do like a cover version of something, and then we found Deep Down Low by Valentino Khan, and we wanted to do a cover version of this one, but then we kind of felt uncomfortable with it, and we changed the lyrics, but we kind of kept the vibe of it and started recording and trying out, and I was like, yo, damn, imagine we combine inward bass and lip roll, that was like lip rolls and inward bass was the craziest shit in 2007, and we're like, yo, but no one ever did both things at the same time, and like, is that even possible? And it kind of sounded shitty at the beginning, but then I was using some mixing techniques, and look into like what frequency, what pitch should we use so it kind of fits still, and then boom, we had the chorus drop, and I was like, yo, that's insane, man. We gotta drop this, and yeah, that's how it started. And yeah, then we had our single, and the funny thing is, a year after, we met again, recording all the other songs that were appearing on our first EP, and we recorded like Don't Wake the Beast, Timba, a few other songs. I don't remember all the names. And because I had way more experience, we already worked together, and BR also raised a lot of experience. We are thinking like, yo, all these other songs are way better than Blast That's Up, man. We should like fucking delete Blast That's Up because it's embarrassing, like just compared. We were just comparing like the production quality, but we didn't think about like the actual creation of the song and stuff, But then like the beatbox community kind of was teaching us that it doesn't really matter. Like to a certain point, quality does matter, but at the end, people fucking still love Blast It's Up the most, like when you look at the views and shit, because it was
1.5 million. No big deal.
yeah, because I think people love it because it's so raw, and it's so close to the actual beatbox vibe that happens on belts, So we were wrong, and I'm really happy that we didn't at the end delete this project and say no, it won't appear on our EP. We still kept it, posted it, and it's amazing, man. And of course, I mean, because the video is not only that successful because of the crazy audio, but also Trung Bao did a fucking amazing job on the animation. Like it looks so nice. It still looks sick, man.
Yeah, it's dope. And how successful, if like in your opinion, was that EP that you put out? ODM, I believe.
Yeah, ODM.
How did that go on for sales and just downloads and attention that it got for you and BR together?
I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest. I needed to learn that if you are successful on YouTube, it doesn't mean that you will automatically be successful on Spotify, because that's two different platforms. Beatboxers are not used to listen to beatboxing on Spotify. Still not. It's getting better right now, but yeah, it's still separate platforms. So we didn't make too many. We don't have too many plays on Spotify, but it was a good lesson for us that we need to invest more into this field, and that's why also like with Swissbeatbox, we agreed on that we need to invest more into like album production, post stuff on Spotify, so the beatbox community gets used to stream beatboxing, like they would stream music. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. And you keep on moving forward, and from there, I found in I think it was 2017 or 15. There's 2016 rather. Moving on from when you worked with BR, and you say there's stuff that you're working on with him that you might be coming up, and I'm looking forward to the next thing that you do with him, because that's an amazing group that I like Vonox. You crush it, so I'm excited to go and see where you guys take that project. But moving into something that you just put out, and you started in working with Hiss. Now I found one of the videos that you said Hiss was, before you even worked with him, was one of your favorites for the Grand Beatbox Battle wildcards a long time ago. So before you had even meeting him or anything else like that, you're like, this guy, you got to see his wildcard. It's the best one that I've seen. So you had that admiration for him. And after you put out in 2018, he goes and remixes Stay, and he goes and does that where he puts that out. And then you end up working together on something called, for Korean Beatbox TV, where you have We Are Alive, and that's the first piece that you guys put out together. Yeah. So it started off rudimentally where you said you kind of like saw each other, and you were asked, oh, do you want to do a shout out together for Korean Beatbox TV? And you're like, yeah, okay. So you do that first thing. Now moving forward, that takes you into where you start working, and you started making this new project that you have. In 2019, you put out Rampage, where it was recorded in Knockdown Studios when you went over for the Beatbox to World Battle, and you told a whole story about having a couple weeks where you go and they say you want to work in the studio, and you start working with Hiss, and you end up going and actually making a full-on project that is out currently that you just put out, and it's called Future Voices. And I've listened to it front to back, and you guys crushed it. I really am happy with the way it turned out, and the intro of it, the build-ups of songs. My personal favorites, I think I told you, were like Summer Night, definitely stuck
Yeah.
out to me, and it's something that I hope everybody goes and pays attention to, and everybody should be watching it right now. Go and download it, go and support it, go and check it out, go and click on it on Swissbeatbox. It's smashing. So, could you explain to me, with his specifically in this project, Future Voices, because you did some tracks together where you were in the same room together, and then other tracks you were in Germany, he was in South Korea, and you still made the collaboration happen where he would record his parts, send it to you, you'd record your parts, mix it together, and now you're starting to go and make music videos for them at the same time and trying to push these things out. So, with working with someone that's so far away, how difficult does that make it to go and have those collaborative ideas, to like have these chats that you go and send voice clips back and forth, or were there ideas that you kind of built up and then worked from? Because you said that he came up with ideas just like this on the spot and working forward. But then this project again, Future Voices. Can you tell people about Future Voices, how the project, anything you want to go and tell them about, and also maybe your favorite songs or songs that they need to go look out for?
Oh damn! I don't know where to start right now. So, so many.
Lots of questions.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, let's start. Yeah, big shout out to you, bro. You did amazing homework, man. Fuck. Holy shit. Yeah, so much research. Anyways, okay. So let's start from the beginning. From the beginning on, what I really loved and still love about his was he has the same approach like me when he creates a routine. You know, it's not like, oh, I wanna put in my craziest sounds, my craziest techniques. His main goal is to create a song. You know, when he makes a routine, and it doesn't matter if it's for a video or for a battle. You know, every round that he does sounds like a song. You know, with the intro, with the drop, his vocals inside. There's a recognizable melody inside. You know, it always has something inside, and this was for me from the beginning on. It was really standing out. You know, like, and then so the second time he was appearing at GBB, I was asking him, bro, do you want to record something with me? And we started with this small shout out for Korea Beatbox, and because I felt like because we're so close, like when it comes to like the approaches that we have, you know, we could communicate in such an easy way without even understanding each other, because his English is horrible. But he understands the language of music, you know. When I say verse, when I say bridge, when I say when I tell him do these kind of bars here and there, you know, let's switch from drum and bass to a trance drop into this dubstep, whatever. You know, he can translate it directly. It's like for him, it's so easy to understand, and that's why I feel like we are able to create stuff so fast together, because we have similar knowledge of for music. Fuck, my lights were turning down. Why? Give me a second. The fuck is happening here? Fucking ghosts.
Getting Ash for the ghost. Ash.
Yeah, the Holy Ghost of
Big
the
shout
Holy
out to
Ghost
people.
of his is here. He's not in the podcast, but he's controlling my lights. Anyway, so yeah, because we feel we understand each other really fast, and we also enjoy the same styles of music. You know, we are both really into future bass, into trap music. You know, we follow a lot of EDM producers, and we both produce music. It's kind of like like he shows me something, you know, like a melody, and I directly know how to translate it into music or how to complement it, you know. We learned this in South Korea even more when I was at Beatbox to World, and we were in the studio for 1 week together. Like he was showing me like a song that he found online, and it was like, bro, let's do something in this style, you know. But then of course we don't want to sound exactly like the song, but in this vibe, and because I enjoy the same style of music, I could pick up the vibe and translate it into beatboxing. And it, like, I felt like for Future Voice, the songs were writing themselves, you know. We were sitting down just writing it, even with lyrics, you know. Like his was on Rampage, like in 10 minutes he was writing down his rap lyrics and was rapping it into his mic. I was like, bro, I didn't even know you can rap. What the fuck is happening, you know? And then on Fly Away, like these lines in my head, and I was like, bro, it would be sick if you could sing the bridge, you know. And then he was like, okay, I have a line in my mind, you know. I can't do it, man. But it sounds so nice and it fits so well, you know. And he was right away had this idea in his head, you know. And because he has all these. He can sing, you know, he can rap, he has all the basics that you need to have as a musician. So it was kind of like, okay, we need the guitar, and he was picking up the guitar, you know, like he has all the instruments that you need to produce music. So we made that experience in South Korea, where we knew how we can trigger each other, you know, and from this point on, it was also easier. Like even me in Germany sitting, and he is in South Korea. When he sends me an instrumental, for example, the last song "High" is a remix on a song of mine. He was sending it to me, and I was like, "Yo, let's work on the vocals." You know, I was directly, because I knew what his taste is like. You know, it was super easy to finish it for me, you know. We right now work on a few other EDM songs, where he just sends me the instrumentals, you know, and I was like directly, oh damn, okay, I have an idea for this, you know. And then on Instagram we're like, oh, what's the topic? And he's like, yeah, I don't know, I said holy in the song, you know. And I was like, holy what? Yeah, holy attack. I was like, what is holy attack? I was googling holy attack, okay, Final Fantasy, and then went into like crazy topics, you know. And then like bam, here's the text, recording it. Half an hour later, he has it in South Korea, mixing it into his song. And you know, but we understand each other so well, because we know each other's tastes. We know what the other was meaning when he did this particular melody. So it doesn't matter where we are right now. We can make music together, and that's so nice. I love it.
Well, you guys did smash it, I will say, and I'm happy that I got to listen to it. And you've sent me some other stuff. You sent me that track that I think you're going to be working on. And I heard as well whispers of you doing something with Hiss and Tomazakura that you're going to be putting out possibly.
Bro.
So you got some stuff. You guys, ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you're just watching and you're tuning in right now, make sure you guys check out Future Voices, where it's Hiss and Madox coming together and building this EP. They've got a bunch of great tracks on there. They got some other stuff in store for you guys in the future. You guys got to make sure that you follow up.
Yeah, we still have 5 unreleased songs, guys. 5. And by the way, it's not Future Voices. It's just Future Voice. You gotta do your homework, bro.
No, I just gotta have better writing.
Yeah.
My penmanship is just horrible. Apparently that's not a period, or it is a period, not an S. But anyways, Future Voice, ladies and gentlemen, and moving on from that as well, because you've put out so much stuff by yourself as well, individual projects that you kept on working on. Again, you've had projects with groups, you've had projects with different tag teams that you've put together, but from stuff like I'm Alive, Donald Trump, My Music, Stop, Silent Light, The Journey, Like This, Stay, when you did the Stay remix, Can You Feel It, Darling, High, Space Rocket, you put out all these different high quality things that you keep on pushing out. My question I have for you, when it comes to putting out projects, specifically beatbox projects that are going to be on Swissbeatbox or collaborative with a tag team, Beatboxer specifically again, how is it that you come up with a structure to your song? And also, because German is the language that you predominantly speak, and you have knowledge, and you obviously speak English quite well, and you say you have some Russian that you understand the basics of, but how is it that you write a lot of your stuff in English, and how is it that you go and rap in English and have this ability to do that? So I want to know how you structure your songs, and also how you come up with the lyrics to it.
So most of the times it starts with one particular thing that is really catchy for me. It can be a beat, like a beat pattern. It can be a melody. It can be a piece of lyrics, you know. But like as every beatboxer, you know, you in the shower, you have like a sound or a melody or a beat in your mind, and like, yo, that's sick, and then you keep doing it for a day, and then you're like, yo, that's a cool flow, a cool vibe, you know. And from this point on, as I have this, and that's like the creative part. Then I think about, okay, is this melody I have right now, is this a verse? Is this a chorus? And then I test it out, you know. And let's take an example. For example, Fly Away, because this is the latest release. On Fly Away, we had this idea with like the what he's doing in the drop. And then I was like, yo, this is a catchy melody, you know. And then I was like, okay, what kind of beat should we do on it, you know? And then yeah, obviously it's a trap beat. And then we kind of tried it out and worked on the drop first. And as we had the drop, of course it's always the most important thing, you know. We were like, okay, this is a sick idea, and everything else needs to complement this. And then you for me it's kind of like opening a toolbox, you know. I know you can do a verse, you can sing, you can rap, you can just make it instrumental. I have lip oscillation that I can use for bass line. I have, you know, I treat my sounds like instruments that I can just pick and then use it to make a melody. And then I started building building blocks, you know. Okay, so first we do the verse, we have the drop. Okay, then the verse is sick, the drop is sick. Okay, let's change the verse a little bit up, so I have a second verse, then the second drop. Let's look on this one. Should we use the same thing? No, I don't know. And then like trying out, and then his was like starting like, and I was like, bro, what did you just do? You know, and it was like, I don't know. It's like a trumpet, but on both sides of my mouth. I was like, bro, we gotta use this. It's like so dope, you know. And then like try to implement it into the song. Yeah, and like, you know, it's kind of like throwing a bunch of ideas into the box, you know, and then you have your fat box full of stuff, you know, and then you need to find the right stuff that you pull out to make a song. And I feel like, so the creative part for me is filling this box full of stuff, sounds, melodies, beat patterns that you know, that you have, that you picked up somewhere, that you think it's cool, and then you apply your musical knowledge to it. Okay, this piece is a verse, this piece is a drop, this piece is an intro, and then you put it together and building it like a house, you know, and then fix the details. And yeah, that's how I do my music. And particularly you said with lyrics, writing lyrics, I actually have a easier time to write English lyrics than German lyrics, because I was listening. German English is not my mother tongue, but I was listening to English music since I was a child. And in Germany, German music only got popular like 10 years ago or 12 years ago, something like that. And I was really used to like English flow, you know, like English flow when someone sings, English flow when someone raps. And so when I write lyrics, I always first start with the flow. So I'm just rapping garbage, you know, like blah blah blah, yo, I'm Madox, you know, and like trying to get into the vibe, and then like okay, yo, this is sick, and then I record this garbage that I do, and then I try to fill in the garbage with words, and most of the times it's like I find a certain topic. For example, on Rampage, it was kind of like we already knew, okay, we gonna call this song Rampage, but then we were trying to we started researching on the internet. Okay, what is a rampage, you know? And then we were like, okay, we gotta prepare for this rampage, you know, we gotta pick up our weapons, blah blah blah. And then open up Rhyme Zone. That's like my favorite page on the internet when I start writing lyrics. Like you can type in the words that you want to use, and then you find like 100 of suggestions, and then you're like, oh damn, this word, this particular word that kind of fits to the story, you know. And then you again, you know, you find a bunch of words that fit to the lyrics. You throw it into your box, and then you start. Okay, I have this flow, so I need to fill in the flow with words, and then because I'm not a native speaker, I need to research a lot of words. Like I constantly have a Google Translate on, so I can translate something from German into English, and then also listen to Google Translate how to pronounce the word, because I also have a lot of trouble pronouncing words. But yeah, that's how I do it as a non-native English speaker, and that's my process.
Well, you've been putting out good, again, everything that you put out from the very beginning, you're putting out good quality sound, good quality visuals, and having your voice being heard and being able to go and use yourself as an artist and go and push these things out. Real quick though, for a second, I'm seeing in the chat, because there's a lot of people that have been watching, they're saying that there's a slight technical issue on your microphone.
Oh, what?
So it's something that might be going on. So I just saw that right now. So I do pay attention to people that are watching and tuned in here. They say you kind of sound like a robot, and they're saying that it's technical issues. Can you hear this back for a second?
That's weird.
It's seeming like it's staticky.
Okay. Yo.
Sometimes these things happen. And again, thank you guys for pointing that out. Every now and then, with the technicalities and having this audio is laggy apparently. So that's
It's laggy. Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah, maybe that's my internet.
I'm
Okay.
just gonna go and work on this for a quick second. Again, when we do that for a second, he's gonna be working on it. I just want to go and say thank you guys. We're not even close to being done yet. We're just trying to figure this out, working together on it. Thank you guys. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in Beyond the Beats. We're on episode 10, right here live with Madox. As we figure this out, we're gonna make sure that it's gonna come back in. So yeah, they're saying that it's a little bit laggy. Right after this, we're gonna get into rapid fire questions from Tony, and questions that you guys asked throughout the day. So if you had questions that you want to know, please write it in right now.
Oh wow, they also can't hear you.
Well, that's not good. Ish. As we work on this.
Damn, I didn't change anything. I used the same setup like for the previous 10.
Yeah. Sometimes these things happen when you have the internet. Let's see here. Saying that we're laggy.
Okay. What if I turn down the streaming quality a little bit?
Let's see if that works out. Hopefully it does. Oh, and now it works. It's fixed. It's clear again. We're back to being good. It has been fixed.
Oh yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
guys.
Okay, sick. Yeah, probably
Alright.
just my internet was like starting to get slow.
Ish. Now it's back to being perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for bearing with us there. Again, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Beyond the Beats, episode 10. We're sitting with Madox. We've been talking about his career. We've been talking about his work that he's been doing with V-Art. We've been talking about going back in the German scene, his success as a battler, working with Hiss recently, with his new projects that's coming out, a lot of the solo projects that he's been putting out as well. And before we get into the rapid fire questions and questions from Pafuni, I wanted to go and ask you. You worked with the WWE, and you were a filmer for the WWE, and I thought that was just awesome because as a kid growing up, you know, I was watching the Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold, and when it got to that era, and I always loved wrestling. So being able to go and watch it and see you that you're like you did this tour with them where you're working out and filming for them, But taking that ability, one thing that you said a few times on Facebook is, I want to go and have this experience and bring it into the beatbox world and have this quality and bring it to the beatbox world. And I believe it was Grand Beatbox Battle, I think 2019 or 2018, one of the two, that really just stepped up the bar, where you had the intro where you walked in behind them and you have the video coming on in the background, just like a WWF style, and it just blew it up. And I was going to say, when did you make that connection to go and work with the WWE? And what was it about that experience that made you think of taking some of those ideas and putting it into the Grand Beatbox Battle and Swiss Beatbox battles, or Swiss Beatbox, the production value?
Yeah. It was kind of like a coincidence. I was working for a company in Munich, a video production company, and out of a sudden, the CEO just called me and was like, "Yo, next week we gotta film a show in Stuttgart, and it's gonna be for WWE." And I was like, "What the heck? Really?" Like, yo, I was watching that shit when I was a kid, you know. Like, there was not so much in Germany, but I remember Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker and all those crazy dudes, and I was really stoked to do that. And then I started to go there, and I was creating like highlight clips. So I was like did a little bit of the fights, you know, did a little bit of interviews on the red carpet with people watching it, you know. And I also went to Orlando, where's like the rookie camp for like WWE upcoming stars, you know, and meeting them all backstage, you know, watching them like training. And I also got to know like some camera operators, and I saw some things at WWE where like, yo, we got to use this for Swiss Beatbox. For instance, I mean, everybody knows it's not real, right? WWE, and to still make it feel real, you know, there's like some tricks that also the camera team is doing. For example, if someone hits the other in the ring, you know, like slaps him or whatever, the camera crew actually was rehearsing that stuff, and they know when it's gonna happen. So for example, if someone punches the other, they would zoom in or zoom out, so it feels like it's way faster. The one watching it, he wouldn't actually see that he wouldn't hit him directly, but there's just way more energy in it, you know. It kind of feels like it was way heavier, and I was like, yo, what if I, you know, this were like the things that I was like, yo, I want to use this zoom things, for example, for beatboxing. So like I started when someone on stage drops a heavy beat, I would zoom in like just on the beat, you know. And then I was teaching the camera crew at GBB to do the same, you know, to kind of react with the camera to the music, so it makes it so you can visually feel it, you know. And there were so many more things, like the vibe of the crowd at WWE is really special, you know. Like all like people dressing up, they're wearing these bells, going crazy as hell, you know, wearing masks, and it feels like they prepare their whole life just to go there and watch, you know. And at WWE really special is that it's not only about the people on stage or in the ring, it's also about the fans, you know. So also the fans get a spotlight. The cameras showing the fans going crazy, you know. You see the reactions of the fans, and this was really inspiring for me too. So I was like, yo, we got to implement this. We need to start filming the fans at GBB reacting to what's happening on stage, you know. So as the person watching at home, you can kind of imagine how it feels like to be live at the event, you know. Because of course in the video you don't have a big PA system at home, you know. Sinjo's doing a great job mixing it, but people still use cheap headphones, majority of them, you know, so they never would experience the same as you would at GBB. But just to see the reactions of people, you know, it kind of makes you realize how crazy it actually should be for people, or for how it would be for yourself standing in the crowd, you know. So I wanted to deliver the whole life experience when you watch the video, not just what's happening on stage, but also what happens off stage. And the beauty of beatboxing is it's not like in breakdancing where someone does a backflip and you need to see how he's doing the backflip, you know. When Napalm drops a lip roll, you don't need to see how he's doing the lip roll, you just need to hear it. But simultaneously you can watch people watching him and losing their minds, you know. For example, I remember there was one reaction on Codfish's elimination last year, 2019, when he did this, so we are going under, and then he did this second drop. Like I can't imitate it, but it was the second drop of it. I think 2:11 in the video. I don't know if you want to look it up. And yeah, but this guy, like, he was on the drop, like you could see his face and he was melting down, you know. It kind of felt like he met his father for his first time in his life and he thought his father was dead, but he isn't because he's here. You know, like this kind of facial expression, you know, you can see that shit. And for me, it's kind of like, yo, if you're not a beatbox fan, but you see a person reacting like this, you got to get into beatboxing because there's no other way, you know. And because how can people be so passionate about something like that? You know, it must be something special. Yeah, and like this, we all get to know BBK with all the reactions, you know. We got all these great shit.
I love watching that video. Even when you put out with BBK, he ended up getting, I don't even know how many, like millions hit or something like that.
Yeah, we're really close. We're really close to 1 million now with the reaction compilation.
And you can tell though, again, the work that you've done has really elevated the audio, the visual, just the production value, and putting it forward. And you've said it a few times, but being able to have people take you seriously as an artist, you need to have good quality product to go and show, and you need to have good quality stuff behind you. So from everybody in the beatbox world to you specifically, I'm going to say thank you for myself, but thank you from everybody else, because you've set a tone and set a bar and been able to push that bar and show what the possibilities are when working hard and professional and keeping that up. So congratulations. Thank you for going and doing that.
Yeah, bro, but man,
Ish.
for real, like also you hosting all these events, bro. Like for me, the job is so much easier because I can feel like you were watching every fucking show in America. You know how to fucking host a TV show. You know how to do that shit, you know. So you were the most professional dude on stage. You know that, okay, Madox, when he's editing the video, he's not putting in the whole intro. So I got to make sure that in the first 10 seconds before the battle is happening, I got to introduce the battlers, what's gonna happen. I got to do the countdown, so it's all in the video. And every time, like I never told you to do that. You just do it. And I'm like, at home I'm editing it. I'm like, holy shit, was this in the script? I never saw the script, bro, but it's amazing.
Well, thank you very much. We try to go and make it easy for you because, again, I appreciate your work and I want to see it. I want to see these just keep growing, and I want to see in however many years, and the Grand Beatbox Battle is just going to grow, and the ability to just go and keep on moving forward. And to do that, you got to treat it professionally. And I try to treat the hosting professionally and try to take it serious, because when people see that on stage, they appreciate it, and actually controlling and being able to go and say, okay, guys, we're doing this, and keep that energy up, and don't just cheer for one person, cheer for everybody. And really, people put their heart and soul into these beats, so go and give your heart and soul to go and push that forward. So again, Grand Beatbox Battle, if you've never been, go to the GVB if you can make it there when they come back. And just mind-blowing, my favorite event. But you know what, we've been talking for a while. I think it's time that we get into rapid fire questions. One more time. Rapid fire. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen here is I'm going to ask you a few questions quickly, and I'm going to be going to you and asking you these questions. I want you not to think about them too hard, but give me your first answer. So ladies and gentlemen, right here on Beyond the Beats with Madox, we have rapid fire. First question. Who is your favorite current beatboxer?
Vokoda.
Who is your favorite current looper?
MB14.
Favorite current tag team?
Spiderhorse.
Who is your favorite WWE wrestler?
Oh, Big Show.
Who is your favorite WWF wrestler?
Undertaker.
What is your favorite vegan dish?
Nice cream.
What is the best style of vegan sushi?
Pass. I don't know. It says so many.
If you're not allowed to pass, you have to answer that last question. What is your favorite style of vegan sushi?
Oh, bro. It's like mushrooms and radish, I guess. It sounds weird, but it's... Bro, you gotta try it when you come to Berlin.
Last but not least, what has been your favorite beatbox memory? Personal beatbox memory.
Gene performing his elimination in the year when Napalm won. 2017, 16? I don't remember. I was crying, bro. That was the first time I was crying on a beatbox elimination.
Ladies and gentlemen, rapid fire questions with Madox. We kept it short, simple, and sweet just to go and get through it, but those were rapid fire questions. Big Show, very good choice.
He's for me the most entertaining guy, bro. It's
and Undertaker just retired. Big shout out to Undertaker for doing that. Always been one of the best. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, as a meat eater myself, I have had the opportunity to go and try out some vegan things, and I will say I'm pleasantly surprised. So if you ever have the opportunity and you ever with Madox for some reason, he could show you places and show you some ways to go and eat food and get the opportunity and try some vegan sushi out. So go ahead and try some stuff out while you try, because he's pushing it and it is tasty. I'll give him that. But now we're going to get into another section called
My Friend Papuni
has some questions for you. So we're going to go into questions from
My Friend Papuni.
My Friend Papuni.
My friend Papuni.
He's got some questions for you. So his first question is, where would he like to see the beatbox scene develop?
Where?
Where would you like to see development in the beatbox scene?
So not into what direction, but like in what
specific areas do you want to see the beatbox scene develop?
Songwriting, bro. People need to learn songwriting for real. Like working on lyrics, working on melodies, all like when we improve there, it will be so much better. Like I see Vocoder is getting way better now in songwriting, and his beats are so catchy now, you know, like his last wildcard for GBB Headbangers. It's a proper song, you know, it's really well written. And if we see more stuff like this, it will push us way more than we already are. Yeah,
I agree with you. It's definitely great. And I was talking with he was on, and when we were talking to him and guys like Reeps and just the way that they structure a piece out, so it's not just a round per se, but it's a full-on piece, and you can listen to it and you're like, wow, that's a full-on, has structure. You do it as well, having structure, having thought process put into it, building up to a drop, having choruses and building actual music out of beats and not just using it for that minute 30 round. So that is a good answer.
And I think I feel like some beatboxers are just not the type of song that they just don't have it in themselves, and that's not a problem. Like in modern pop music, a lot of pop musicians don't actually write their songs by themselves, or at least not the whole thing. You know, they have people helping them to write songs. And I think beatboxers, if they have problems with it, you know, that's not a big deal. They should just find people to help them out. Like I have Tigran for sometimes to help me out write a song. You know, I helped. I don't know if even if Alexinu would be comfortable me saying this, but I was writing the lyrics for him for Choose. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I was writing the lyrics for him because his English is just not really good, and he couldn't figure out what to do there. And I was like, yeah, we need to put lyrics in there, but he was like, yeah, I can't. I don't have lyrics. I was like, don't worry, I'm gonna write it for you. And then I wrote it for him, you know, and it's not a big deal. It's still his song, you know. It's amazing, and it's an amazing piece. So people need to get used to collaborate with musicians that can fill in the gaps that they have.
I agree. There's a huge future if they were to continue. If we as a community continue on this trend and building songs and reputable things and having it, getting to a point where you're going to be hearing Gene on the radio, you're going to be hearing you on the radio, and it's going to become not necessarily mainstream, but just being able to go and push it out there to be respected at that level. Of someone listening to it and being like, wow, that's a fully produced song, and being played at festivals, because Vokoda's got his stuff played at festivals with Excision, and being able to go and push that stuff is just nuts.
Bro.
So next up, let's keep this going. Questions from
my friend Papuni.
He's got a question for you. The next question that
My friend Papuni
wants to know is, he goes, after entering so many battles, what was your secret in 2013? What was it that started getting you into that ideal of winning? So you won 2013 the Zurich battle, and you might have answered this where you said you had the advice of just being yourself and not acting as a character. But is there any advice that you can give to people that are starting the battle, other than just be yourself? Is there something that you can say? Because that's just a question he wants to know, is what would change other than what you've already explained? Is there anything else that your mindset changed into going into battles and coming out on top?
Work your basics. People focus so much on being original that sometimes they forget about working on their basics. For example, I don't want to put him down, but and he's a new school beatboxer, but I feel like the guy Remix, he was competing at GBB online. He has a sick skill level, sick skill set. He has crazy sounds. He even managed to beat like one of the biggest beatboxers, he's Asia champion, and I don't even know how old Remix is. But he's missing so much potential because his timing was off, his structure could be way more exciting. He had structure, but it was like really basic structure he was putting. And he was really focusing just on his drops, but there's so much more that you can think of. So if people start to think more about how to write music and try to implement it into their beatbox routines and work on timing, flow, pitch, all these basics that musicians normally have when they play an instrument, they will improve so much. And you can win a lot of battles if you just can pull off these basics. Like my biggest strength is exactly this. I know how to structure. I have good timing. I know how to write an intro, verse, etc. I don't have like the special sound. Like I don't have a crazy inward bass like Audicle, or I don't have the best lip roll on earth like Napalm, but I have the structure. So does his, for example. He also has many sounds, but he doesn't have like this one particular sound that is sticking out. But just the composition and the way he's performing is so clean and so nice to listen to that he's winning battles with us.
Yeah, it's well, I know Remix is like 16, I think, and he's been beatboxing for a couple years, so he's definitely got a really bright future. He's gonna smash
and I'm not trying to put him down, but like, he's already winning international battles with this skill set, and now imagine he studies music and understands pitch, structure, timing. Bro, he will. Yeah, I see him in GBB when he will work on all these things.
Yeah, the amount of new talent that's out there, and a lot of it, for myself, again, I wasn't online in the online scene too much, and I still am not, but seeing Grand Beatbox Battle being on Beatbox Community, and seeing, Look Up being on the Beatbox Community, and seeing these names out of nowhere where I'm just like, who is this person? Who is that person? And the skill level is just crazy. It's been really impressive, and I've loved having the opportunity to go and see some of these fresh faces and fresh sounds and fresh versions of it. So again, make sure that when you go into battles, you're prepared, you have your basics, you make sure that you're structured out. That's definitely a good call. And before I get back to Vaponi's question, one thing that you've said a bunch of times, and I do agree with, is it's funny when like the idea of someone doing something and all of a sudden at the end they're just like, oh, that was a freestyle. That was a freestyle. That's something that you bring up a lot. And I think that there's time and places where you can have a round that has a freestyle element to it, where it's an answer back, or you have parts of it that you switch up from what you might have done just to go and answer or have it in that battle specifically. But hearing someone that's really planned out their rounds and have this structured piece of music that they're showing to the audience instead of just putting random stuff together in the moment. And again, some guys can do that. Like Kenny can go and do that very, very well. And there's other people that can do the freestyling
PR
very,
is
very
also
well.
really good in it.
Yeah. But I love hearing like a fully thought out and put together piece. It's always great to hear. So that's something that you've said a few times over the years, and I'm just like, that's kind of a good advice as well, is to go and think of your rounds and make sure that you have some structured pieces and stuff that you feel comfortable with and practiced out. That when you're presenting it, it really exemplifies what you want to go and show to the world. But
yeah, I actually think that D-Lo is doing it really in a clever way. He said that when he has a round of 1 minute 30, he's planning like 1 minute or 1 minute 15, and then has this certain amount of time where he doesn't plan anything to be forced to freestyle this part, you know. But also like having this space, you know, like in this particular part he can connect to the crowd, you know, because this is like when you improvise on stage, when you freestyle, like the advantage of this is like you do something that was created in the moment for the moment because you were feeling the moment, you know. And if you can pull it off, this is way stronger than something that you prepared at home, you know. So if you combine these both skills, being able to improvise but then also have something prepared. Look at D-Lo, he won GBV, you know. Like,
yeah, D-Lo is a great example. He smashes it. But let's go and get 2 more questions from
my friend Papuni.
He has a question for you. You've talked to him a lot, but let's see if he has another question from
my friend Papuni
that he wants to go and ask you. He asked you, can you explain what's going on in the German scene right now and where the scene is going, in your opinion?
So there wasn't a lot happening in the German scene, partly because there was no German champs for a few years, and partly because beatboxing is not that big in Germany, like, for example, in South Korea or Indonesia, Philippines, you know, people go crazy there. In Germany, most people don't care, like in the, I would say like in the mainstream. So for the fact that you can't do a lot in the mainstream, and there was no battles, it was really disappointing for a lot of beatboxers. And I know I have a lot of friends that stopped beatboxing because of this fact. For example, Degree, he was joining GBB, but he was I don't know, like he was so demotivated because there was no support in Germany. There was no events that he could attend to. And it was hard for him to improve. So it was just like, I gotta follow a different passion, and so that a lot of others. Now, since 2017, there's more coming up again. German champs, thanks to Shazam, who did the first thing with EBM, with Gapo, with Marvelin, and now Marvelin took it over and organizes Beatbox Germany. Doing these events. He's doing the Beatbox of the Month, which is happening six times a year. Right now not because of Corona, but it will come back. So there's so much going on right now, specifically in Berlin. So it kind of feels like the force awakens again, you know, Germany. And like all these people are motivated again, and I see a lot of talent coming up here. Like I was mentioning to the Ayota as one guy, I saw him at last Beatbox of the Month. He fucking smashed it. And Alexinho was there too. He was impressed by how clean his snares are, you know. Then there's El Grande. He always smashes the microphone. He's so powerful. Like, this guy is like, I don't know, 1.50 meters. I'm not even kidding. He's so small, but he has double the power than me, you know. Like, I'm like, bro, where is this coming from, you know? Like, the strength. And there's so many beatboxers right now coming up in Germany. And they are in the state where just starting, you know, just getting there, getting more experience. But I feel like if Marvelin keeps pushing the German scene, I try to support him. I go to Beatbox of the Month. I'll be judging there. You know, Sinjo's helping him out with audio. I help him also with like video production, stuff like this, So we all kind of try to push it again, bring back the German vibe. Like when it started, I mean, Beatbox Bell started in Germany, and it would be a pity if we gonna lose that, So, yeah, give us 5 years, 5 to 6 years, and we're gonna be back.
All right. That's what's going on currently in the German scene, according to our good friend Madox. And let's go with the last question from
My friend Papuni.
He wants to know about, let's see here. Here's a good question for you. What do you like about SBX? What do you like about Swiss Beatbox?
I really love about Swissbeatbox that Swissbeatbox is kind of like the anchor of the beatbox scene. When even now there's no events anymore, but Swissbeatbox still manages to post a video every day, so people out there who are beatbox fans can watch daily content. They see what's happening out there. They hear new sounds. They see new styles. They watch podcasts now. They follow online battles now. So and we kind of try to bring everything that is outside there in beatboxing and put it together on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook still, even though no one is on Facebook anymore. We still do it, because there's some people, so we do it for them, and of course YouTube, and Pepuni is like the driving force there, even if we have bad times. Like I had some times where I couldn't work for Swissbeatbox at all because I was doing all these side projects, Then Sinjo maybe has a bad times. Shazam had bad times, but he was always the driving force behind us and always said, guys, we gotta keep it up. We need to post a video every day. It doesn't matter. We need to find those shout outs, we gotta dig deep. There's people here, there's people in Indonesia, there's people in South Africa. Now he's trying to build something for the African community, because the African community is not present in the scene at all. So he's really motivated to push this now, So there's like a Morocco beatbox battle coming up. And
yeah, big shout outs to Double M, big shout outs.
Yeah. So and Papuni is the driving force behind all of us, and he's pushing our creativity. He's forcing me to create new video content. He's pushing Sinjo for audio. Now we have Rachel inside, who's doing marketing, who's doing project management. And he's pushing everyone, and just he's like our father. He's like, you gotta do your homework, bro. Where's the videos? We gotta keep it up, the scene is watching us, and it's I think without Pepuni it would be impossible, man. For a big shout out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, big shout outs to our friend Peponi. Yes. Those are the questions from Peponi for this week, and now we're gonna get into the questions from the crowd. You guys have been watching, and we have questions that have come in, so I'm going to go up and ask you the questions that he has sent me right here. We have, first question is, let me see. Madox, can you say a typical North German word?
North German? I'm from South Germany.
Okay, then. How about a typical
South German word? Leberkäse wecken.
What does that mean?
It's kind of like Leberkäse. It's kind of like it's kind of baked meat, and it's like it's like a sandwich. It's like a really popular in Bavaria, and yeah, people go crazy for that shit. I don't know why. It's tasteful, but it's like their thing, the holy sandwich.
Well, if you have the opportunity, go and get one of those sandwiches if you still eat meat. And bringing it up to the next question from the crowd, Esh, they want to know, how did you get involved and why did you start becoming a vegan? What influenced you to make that step?
it started because I started to get chubby. I realized like 3 years ago, I was like, yo, I gotta do something about it. Because I was working a lot in the office. I did less sports. I still ate the same way, so I started to get bigger. And this was like the initial thing. I wanted to be healthier. And then my girlfriend inspired me to start like vegetarian weeks, vegetarian month, and then I got slowly into it. And yeah, a lot of research, and I kind of feel like I don't wanna start blaming people here right now for eating meat and whatever. But yeah, like basically it was because I wanted to be healthier, and then I also like being in discussions with vegans, thinking about economy. You know what's happening in Brazil right now with the rainforests and stuff like this. That you can also make a big change with being vegan on these things. Motivated me even more, you know. So yeah, that's why I do it.
Again, if you have the opportunity, go and try some vegan sushi.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
Secret Garden in Berlin, guys. That's the best place for vegans. Oh, even
Big
yo
shout out.
Napalm. I was going there with Napalm and Sinjo, like the biggest meat eaters, I guess. And they were like, "What the fuck? We don't want to go eat vegan stuff." And we went there, and they were like, "I don't want to eat vegan." And then I started, bro, you know, like going crazy, like, yo, that's the best sushi I ever ate. So like I could convince these people. So and I think everyone will be convinced after eating this particular sushi.
All right, next time I'm in Germany, secret.
Yo, yeah, bro, for real. I gotta take you there.
You show me it. All right, we're gonna see another question from the crowd. Are there any future Vonox songs coming out? Projects?
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't meet up because of Corona, but VR just announced that he will join me in Berlin for a few weeks. So
Ooh.
we gotta create some stuff. There's
Yes.
we're gonna do some. There's nothing in tube yet, but I think we're gonna produce at least 2 tracks and produce 2 videos to it this year.
All right, you guys heard it here. He's going to be doing more work with VR. Vonox is going to have some more projects. And let's go with the last question right here from the crowd. Big shout outs to the homie Mix FX, my host brother. He's been watching. He wants to know, are we ever going to see another video with massive noise and degree again?
Yo, every video you saw in the past 3 years was a massive noise video because Degree is now my camera operator. It's actually a massive noise. And yo, he was actually the guy on stage who did like the on stage walk. You know, the guy who like
the walk out.
Yeah, that's Degree, man. That's the dude from Massive Noise. He's still in the game. You just don't see him anymore because he's behind the camera now.
Maybe are we going to see him outside of that role and maybe in front of the camera?
Let's see.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. Questions from the audience. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have more projects coming with BR, Vonox, possibly some projects with our good friend Degree. Definitely some project with Hiss. He got some stuff with Thomas Zachary coming out. Madox, it's been a pleasure having you on.
With Braz, I just recorded a song with Braz. That's gonna be dope. Oh, he's a sick rapper. He should rap more, man. He should focus on rapping now, for real.
Yes, Brez is just killer. He's nuts. I was so impressed when I first started hearing him, and still, just every time I see him, he just puts out good stuff that's got that. He gets it. So he's definitely one of them that I look out for. And is there anything else you want to talk about while we're here and we're talking for this podcast? I think we've covered a lot of stuff, and I don't think that there's I don't know. I think I've covered most of your career. We got through a lot of it. I didn't talk about the one thing would be the Fireball, the commercial that you did with Red Bull.
Don't worry about that one. I'm actually, I overgrew about that. My audio production skill was really bad compared to now, so I kind of like fuck that project.
That was one that I just like visually and stuff. It was cool to see with a
that's true. That's true. And
Red Bull
we actually won an award for this in Germany.
Yes, I looked that up as well, but I didn't want to bring that up until now. Just for the last little thing of saying sometimes our friend wins awards as well.
Yeah. Just a little side note. Award-winning musician.
We went to win awards. No big deal. No big deal. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, Future Voice is out with Hiss right now. Make sure you guys go check that out. Check it out on Spotify. Go ahead and support it on YouTube. He's going to be having more projects coming out. Madox, it's been a pleasure having you on. And have you had a good time?
Yeah, of course.
Right here, live and direct. Ladies and gentlemen.
I just thought you asking the crowd, and I was waiting for you to press it.
Ish. Once again, we're coming here every week, every Sunday. I'm your boy, Scott Jackson, hosting right here, Beyond the Beats, Swissbeatbox, official podcast. Right below, tell us who else you want to see. Tell us what you think of the program. Write some comments, spread it around. Check out the ones. This is already in week 10, so we have 9 already that have gone through. But right here live, 2-time German champ, my good friend, Mr. Conrad, a.k.a. Madox. I'm happy to see you, man. It's nice to see your face, and it's good to go and have a weekly discussion where you're helping out, and I get to see your face. So thank you for being on one more time. But ladies and gentlemen, right here, Beyond the Beats, check it out, Swissbeatbox. Go ahead and subscribe. And that's the way we're going to end this off. If you had a good time, make some noise! Ladies and gentlemen, Beyond the Beats with Madox. And that's time.